How is it going, guys? My name is Juventeis and welcome to my TBU team builder for Juventeis and Quil for week 3 of the TBU. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen during the battle because I haven't heard of Swagnet in a couple of days, and usually he contacts me every day calling me a scrub, so I really don't know what's going to happen there. But hey ho, I mean, I'm sure he'll show up for the battle, right? I hope so, because I'm not playing it. Anyway, basically, regardless of whether Swagnet decides to show up or not, this week we are playing against Quil, Esquilo, he likes to be called Quil, and Juventeis, and quite frankly, his team is frigging impossible to prep for. So impossible to prep for, it's ridiculous. However, I think I've came up with a plan that can do some stuff. And some things, and also some other stuff. Basically, his team is Mega Charizard Y, Excadrill, Togekiss, Galvantula, Feraligatr, Chesnaught, Tyrantrum, Druddigon, and Medicham. Quite frankly, it's freaking annoying. Very annoying because he's got so much power. Not quite as much as we would normally have, or we have when you look at us, but it's still a stupid high amount of attack, and it's coupled with a little bit of checky bulk. So if he needs a switch in, he has 2 Pokemon that can switch in, possibly 3 Pokemon that can possibly switch in and take a hit, and he can just switch out to a massive threat afterwards. On paper, this team is very hard to prep for. But 2 things when looking at the matchup. 1, Sticky Webs screws me so hard. Sticky Webs screw me because it eliminates the possibility of Sneasel outspeeding his whole team, Tyrantrum setting up to sweep, it eliminates the Lantern being able to outspeed Druddigon, meaning it can Earthquake and kill me. Sylveon is the same, meaning it can Gunk Shot and kill me. Sticky Webs pretty much gives him the win. Sticky Webs would give him a win here because the team I brought, while not too bad against it, I'm not bringing hazard support. I'm not bringing hazard removal. So, basically, this team relies on a first turn to go perfectly, and I'm really bad at when I try to do those. I'm very bad when I try to do those because I always mess it up. But this time I am very confident that we can actually predict this correctly. So he's going to want to get his Sticky Webs up as soon as possible. He's going to want to do all kinds of things, and you've been looking at this Sneasel for the past God knows how long, but the team we're bringing is Sneasel, Staraptor, Tyrantrum, Lantern, Mega Latias, and Fernando the Sylveon making his debut, because, you know, Fernando. I don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, but hey ho, it's a Sylveon, so yeah. Basically, I want to get Sticky Webs off the field. I only have one thing that outspeeds Galvantula. That thing only has one way of stopping a Galvantula that has a Focus Sash, because if he wants Sticky Webs on, which honestly he should, because it pretty much wins him the game, I can't set up with Mega Latias on anything there, because everything on that team has something to deal with Mega Latias. If you look, Dragon Pulse Charizard, Excadrill hits it really hard, Dazzling Beam Togekiss, Bug Buzz Galvantula, Ice Punch Feraligatr, Chesnaught not so much, but still the rest of them do enough. There's obviously a Tyranitar there, there's a Druddigon which can kill it, and a Medicham's Ice Punch and Knock Off. I can't set up with Mega Latias, I can't sweep with Mega Latias this game. Maybe in the future, but not in this game. However, I need Sticky Webs away, and there's only one thing in my team, one possible set that can guarantee Sticky Webs will not go up turn 1, and that's this Sneasel. This Sneasel is Choice Band with Beat Up, Brick Break, Ice Shard, and Icicle Crash with Jolly 252, 252, 4. And the reason for this is that a Beat Up from this team, I did so many calculations with Beat Up for this team, it's ridiculous, but this team has a 68% chance to OHKO a Focus Sash Galvantula. I would outspeed because it's Focus Sashed, and I'm not sure a Galvantula would want to stay in on me anyway, so I would be able to go for the beat up and have a huge chance of taking out that thing. And even if it does get the sticky webs up, even if it does manage to get them up, I still do a hefty chunk, and this thing gets killed by another beat up, and Sneasel can just run havoc for a little bit before getting taken down. So this Sneasel pretty much is so important to the game plan, because it has the Brick Break to hit the Tyranitar, it outspeeds the Charizard Y, it can hit everything on that team except for Alligator and Chestnut. Oh no, not even Chestnut. Yeah, everything on that team except for Alligator and Medicham, but Medicham doesn't really count for super effective damage. Well, not Charizard either, but god damn it, I'm a bit gone, but hey ho. Basically, it deals massive damage to the entire of his team. So, how do we stop that? We need to, well, basically, we need to keep Sneasel around, and we need Sneasel to perform its duty. I will be leading with Sneasel. The plan is here. We can do this. We can do this. But I know that these things don't always go well, because it didn't last time when I tried to use Sneasel as a turn 1 lead, and it didn't work out then, so I'm a bit scared it won't this time, but hey ho, we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, Brick Break for Tyranitar, Ice Shard for priority, Icicle Crash for Chestnut, and to deal massive damage to things because I'm banded, which is gonna hurt. Seriously, banded Sneasel friggin' hurts. But anyway, on to the next mon, and that's gonna be Choice Scarf Staraptor. Now I know what you're thinking, the first thing you see here, why do you not have close combat? He has a Tyranitar, and he has an Excadrill. And quite frankly, even excuse my coughing, I'm still very ill. The reason for that is that I don't want it. Honestly, it was a bit of a mistake, but I can also flip this around by saying that, quite frankly, I know his switch in. Sorry, Jesus Christ, I am so ill, it's ridiculous. It's really hard for me to record videos. But anyway, where was I? I completely forgot. Basically, I know that Tyranitar is not going to want to switch into this thing. Excadrill is not going to want to switch into this thing. Mega Charizard... why am I even talking about that? Basically, the two things that resist my stabs are not going to want to switch into this thing for fear of a close combat. So, by eliminating the temptation to go for a close combat, I'm automatically giving myself a prediction to do. So, oh god, I really hope this works, because Quick Attack would be a surprise if Medicham comes along and tries to bullet punch my face so I can get a Quick Attack off, or something, and it allows me that I can stop it, say it's at low health, and I'm in range of killing it. So, the EVs are enough to outspeed Jolly 252. What was that to outspeed? I can't even remember. I genuinely cannot remember. I think it was to outspeed Excadrill. Might have been Excadrill, I'm not too sure. Possibly Excadrill. Or his base 90 there. God, I can't remember. It's been a while since I played this match. I think it's either to outspeed Excadrill or Medicham. And I didn't bother trying to go max because I outspeed the rest of his team anyway. So yeah. This is gonna be such a dodgy recording because I'm having to stop to do things and stuff. But yeah, max attack, 84 HP, gives me odd and allows me to switch into Stealth Rock a couple more times, gives me a bit more bulk, meaning I can take more recoil. The 4 in defenses is quite common, and we have speed, because speed is banter. And yeah, it's pretty stupid. Honestly, I didn't mean to have Quick Attack on the team, but I figured it could help in situational times, like against Aqua Jet for Alligator, against Medicham's Bullet Punch, against Sucker Punch, possibly Dredagon, stuff like that. But hey ho, I felt like it could come in handy in situations, but I probably should have packed Close Combat. But it was a bit of a mistake, and yeah, I really hope that Quick Attack proves me wrong. I really hope Quick Attack proves me wrong, and I'm pretty sure it will. But anyway, on to the next member. We have Choice Banded Tyrantrum, so we're going double band this game. And quite frankly, I've said that so many times, but we've gone with a bit of a bulky, speedy set. Now, this Tyrantrum set is here to outspeed, what was it to outspeed? I think it was Tyranitar. max speed Tyranitar, and at this point, like, my game plan here is very strange. It's a very strange game plan because I have 3 ways of winning. I can dent anything in his team with this Tyrantrum. I have Aerial Ace for the Chestnut, and by slow Volt Switching with Lantern into this thing, I can say, what really wants to switch into Lantern? Let's just be real quick. What really wants to switch into Lantern? The only thing on his team that really wants to is Drodigon. I have Volt Switch. I Volt Switch out into Mark Bolan over here. Something either dies or takes an insane amount of damage and gets killed the turn after. So that's an incredible, incredible thing to have. Now, the only thing I've got to be worried about with this Lantern is that Excadrill doesn't come in on my Volt Switch, in which case I'm forced to make a prediction and go into either Mega Latias or Staraptor. But yeah, Volt Switching with Lantern is pretty much going to be my only way of getting massive damage onto him, because I can Volt Switch into Tyrantrum, Staraptor, Sneasel, or Sylveon, and it's a massive, massive boon for me being able to do that. The Assault Vest on this thing is for Mega Charizard Y, because it allows me to take a Solar Beam from Mega Charizard Y. It becomes a 3-hit KO, meaning I can switch in on one, and then either Volt Switch or Scold out or Discharge trying to get a Paralysis, and it pretty much just gives me a chance to do things. But anyway, back to Tyrantrum. Now, the reason I've got Head Smash, an Aerial Ace, and Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock was just filler move because I didn't feel like anything else was really needed. Dragon coverage on this was kind of redundant considering Head Smash eats everything else, and the only thing that can really take a banded Head Smash and threaten me out is Chestnut, which I outspeed anyway, because I'm naive with that amount, and banded Aerial Ace is just going to decimate it anyway if I ever need to. And Stealth Rock is just filler because it's always good to have rocks and stuff. So yeah, the EVs here, like I said, to outspeed Chestnut and Tyranitar, and yeah, I just felt like this thing could do a lot of damage, especially under the influence of this guy. I went with more of a support Mega Latias this time. The reason behind this is because I felt like Tyranitar is probably an easy switch into this thing if it has Chople Berry. So I outspeed everything on his team with this thing. Everything, I think including Galvantula, if it's not Scarf. I'm not too sure. I probably do. I think I checked. It's been a while, but I outspeed a lot on his team. And the EVs I have allow me to take a few hits and possibly live a crunch from a Tyranitar that's not banded or Life Orbed. So it means that I can take a hit from that thing, respond with either a Hidden Power Hidden Power Fighting, sorry, and do massive damage, go for the Tailwind or the Roost. And yeah, the reason I got Tailwind is because Tyranitar's probably switching in. I go for a Tailwind, I go for a Hidden Power Fighting, I pop its Chople Berry or deal an insane amount of damage to it. I either go down or take a Pursuit, which is going to do pittance because I'm not switching out, and then I kill it afterwards. So I need to be very careful with the way I play around that Tyranitar and this Mega Latias, because I feel like this team, if I get the Tailwind up, or I can get the Rocks up, or I can just do damage, I can really hurt him. And the thing is, he has a Tyranitar and an Excadrill, so Tailwind negates that, completely stops that. So it means that everything on my team is then doubled in speed, and it negates his Sand Rush, which is going to be so important if I'm going to stop an Excadrill sweep, because yeah, Excadrill's a problem, but he doesn't have anything that really wants to deal. I don't really have anything that wants to deal with Excadrill except for possibly this guy. So yeah, that's awesome. And Hidden Power Fighting at this range, with the amount of special attack EVs I have on there, it deals a lot of damage to it. I believe I can 3-hit KO non-Assault Vest, non-Chople. But I think it's like a very close to 2-hit KO, and that was the most amount of damage I could do while allowing me some bulk. Thunderbolt is for Togekiss, for Alligator, and Mega Charizard Y, so yeah. And the final member on my team it's going to be Fernando the Sylveon. He is making his debut. I can't remember what I called him / her. I can't remember if it's a girl or a boy. And quite frankly, I don't know why I even... Quite frankly, Sylveon is here to deal damage. It's here to deal damage. It's here to choice specs Hyper Voice. And then the rest of the moves are irrelevant. Because there's no point going for anything else. Now, you could argue I probably should put Hidden Power Ground on this, but I see what's the point. Because Excadrill lives at Hidden Power Ground specs, and nothing else on the team benefits from me going for anything else apart from a Psyshock on a Mega Charizard. Why? Because Choice Specs Hyper Voice just kills everything else anyway. So there's absolutely no point in me having Hidden Power Ground or Psyshock on this thing. The only reason would, like I said, would be Mega Charizard Y, but I have a switch in, and it's not going to enjoy taking a Hyper Voice anyway because I'm a Spec Sylveon. So, I went with Baton Pass because I like to predict switches, and if I can predict some switches, I can if I gain momentum with this team, I gain it in bucket loads. I gain it in spades, and I can hit like a truck. And then I have Quick Attack for the banter. Now that's literally modest Quick Attack against a Medicham with Pixelate actually does a hell of a lot of damage, like a hell of a lot of damage. But it's pretty much enough so that I can try and stop some things, and I didn't need anything else apart from possibly the Psyshock. But once again, I saw it as completely redundant. But anyway, Heal Bell's also there just because I can't have Heal Bell on Lantern, and it's just a bit of a filler move. So yeah, that's stuff, that's just banter. So that's the team. It revolves around momentum, it revolves around hitting like a truck, it revolves around trying to do damage and trying to break holes in him that he can't patch quickly. I need to play a great game against Quil to give myself any chance here. So Sneasel needs to do its job, Lantern needs to do its job, and then Latias needs to do its job, and these three, Fernando, Mark Bolan, and Panic, will wreck house. But anyway, that's the team, that's the game. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to watch how the game went against Quil. Obviously, like I said, I've had a drink and I'm a bit drunk, but hey ho. I don't record drunk, but apart from the drunk block, but hey ho. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow to watch how the game went. I will be, actually, by the time the game goes live, I will be in Cornwall on a bit of a break. So yeah, make sure you tweet me all of that jazz, all that good stuff, and let me know what you thought of the game. Make sure you leave a comment. And make sure you go and check out Quil because he's a great guy and all of that stuff. And yeah, but yeah, let's see if Swagnet shows up to actually fight, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day and a great life. See you later.